there, I'm Laura Noel, a second-generation homeschooler and homeschooling mom of two, and today I'm going to share a little bit of a wrap-up for our third grade Timberdoodle curriculum kit. So we are at the end of April when I'm filming this, and we are finishing up my daughter's third grade curriculum kit from Timberdoodle. We are technically year-round homeschoolers, meaning we do a lot of school still in the summer, but we do a lot less in the summer than throughout the school year. So I'm going to share a little bit about each of the different subject areas from our kit, what we thought of them, if they were great, if they were flops, and what we plan to do this summer. So I make a year-long schedule for the Timberdoodle custom scheduler, and I print out our weekly format here with every day listed. I like things in, we do this day and this that day, because our days are a little bit different. When my children are older and more independent, and if they want to, finish all of this early in the week so they can have the rest of the week, I don't mind the larger, like, here you have to do all this stuff during a week. But for us and our life right now, we need it very, very scheduled out. So most of the school year, we have a pretty lengthy list there. By the summer, we have about half of that. So for third grade language arts, we have been doing Happy Cheetah, and we finished up Happy Cheetah level 3 this year, and we are working our way through level 4. We have a ways to go, and so we will be doing this pretty much all the rest of summer, about 1 page a day, sometimes even on weekends. But it's still going quite well for us. They have the little tiny readers, and then they do a page in here. It's pretty simple, and it really works well for my daughter. The very short sessions, the very targeted sessions, the repetition, it's worked really, really well. I'm really impressed with their methods, even though they seem a little bit more unconventional. They are actually very well put together. When she finishes Happy Cheetah level 4, she will be about mid-third grade level, so I'm considering that pretty good. We're gonna still have some catching up to do, but overall we're making really, really good progress. To supplement Happy Cheetah, I've been having my daughter read a book every day. So she's been absolutely loving these biscuit books, these I Can Read My First reading. And then we've been working our way through the Usborne, My First reading library books as well. And just getting books from the library that are in that I Can Read My First shared reading. And it's been really cool to see how she's been grasping words that she's just been learning in Happy Cheetah all along, and then she can recognize it in the books. Her confidence has also grown exponentially, which is really cool, and she's actually like, oh, I can read books now. So I'm very pleased with our progress so far in there. Third grade cursive is cursive logic, and because she's still learning to read and write, this was not something that I pushed. It was just something that actually she really wanted to do. So she's just been working on the different strokes and different letters. I think we're probably only about 1/3 of the way through this, but again, we'll work on it through summer and into next year, and it's not a big deal. I also picked up this grooved handwriting cursive workbook. My friend suggested this. You use a special ink that disappears after 20 minutes, and they write in these grooves, so it helps them to actually make the formations correctly instead of just all over the place on the paper. So while my daughter doesn't normally like tracing, she enjoys the sensory input of actually tracing in those grooves, and so she thinks it's just fun. So again, I haven't really been pushing this, it's just been something extra. Matthew C. Gamma, single and multiple digit multiplication. We are all the way on lesson 26, so we only have about 5 lessons left because they have like an appendix lesson in the back. So we've done very well in this. We've been watching the video lesson and then having her do the work pages at least usually 3 a week. And towards the end here, it's getting a little bit more challenging, and so we are definitely going to be working through some of the test booklets. I haven't even touched these, but I'm really going to have her focus on memorizing the multiplication facts. We're going to be using the wrap-ups to help her do that, as well as continuing to play the Moby Max game. We haven't played this near enough, so I really want her to memorize the facts, because I think that's going to really help her. And before you go into division, you really want to know your multiplication facts, so helping her to remember them. She knows a few, but she needs to memorize all of them, and I think that'll really help. thinking skills. We're almost done with Smart Dog, the smart game, the one person smart game. I think she's got about 18 more challenges and we do 2 a week. So in the next 2 months, we'll have this one finished. Smart games are always a hit, even if they're challenging, because they are really challenging at the end. It's something fun that we can work at together, and I can help her a little bit, and then she's like, oh yeah, I totally see that now. It's great. It's fantastic for those thinking skills, so smart games are always great. Battle Sheep, a 2-player game. Again, we haven't played this as much as we should have. We were supposed to play it once a week, but it would often get shoved to the side. But when we have played it, it has been fun. I feel like we're still getting the hang of it. So hopefully this summer we'll be able to pull it out a little bit more. Games are just always great. It's just hard to play with a toddler around who wants to get in the middle of it and cause chaos. Critical and Creative 3, I think we have about 10 lessons left, so maybe like 2-ish months before we get this finished. But she still enjoys this. I still do a lot of it orally, just because it is so much writing. She loves the coloring, the activities that are really like the fun stuff, not so much the writing or the math. Some of that stuff is it's just a little bit above her, but that's okay. I try to do as much orally as possible and try to focus more on the things that are critical thinking, like let's come up with 5 things that are green and start with this, and to really get her brain working and not so much worry about the puzzles with the letters and the numbers and things like that she isn't quite ready for. History and Social Studies, we are still working our way through Story of the World, Volume 3. Typically what I've been doing is putting the stories, we have the MP3s, onto her Yodo on a custom card and my U card, make your own card, and having her just listen to 1 or 2 lessons at a time. We've kind of set it aside for a little while. I'm going to pick it back up in summer because we kind of started doing early American history through Beautiful Pete books, because we get to read fun stories of history. That this is the history that I did when I was a child, and it just feels a little bit more, I don't know, she calls it the fun history, which I'm sure you can make Story of the World super fun with the activity book and all that. We just didn't really do all that. And I think it was just a little bit much. So she gets to do some coloring, some cutting and pasting, some writing. It's just a little bit more the notebooking, that Charlotte Mason notebooking. She enjoys it. And so I'm not doing every single lesson. I'm not being super strict on it. But I am trying to read some of the main picture books on Columbus and Pocahontas, and just so she understands those names and those historical figures. So we're going to continue this through summer. I think we're about half done. We will eventually finish this. We might have to do some car trips to get this in. Geography, skill sharpeners. We absolutely still love skill sharpeners. It is so colorful and fun. I read 1 little section a week. We have a few more weeks of this, probably again 1 or 2 months to get it finished. Puzzle Ball Globe. She's created this a couple of times. I don't necessarily make her do it once a month, but she and her friends have done it too. It's really fun, and they like to just spin it around and look at stuff. For science, I taught a human body class at our homeschool co-op this year, so we did the body book, so we made skeletons and all these models and super cool stuff. I also used this human body activity book, and then we also used some of the Dr. Bonafide, and so we've got a lot of Dr. Bonafide to finish this summer, but again, we'll keep working our way through that. And it's really easy, it's fun, it is a lot of reading and understanding big names, but it's colorful, and we just do a chunk at a time every week, and she really does enjoy this. STEM is Gravitrex Academy. It is a marble run. She adores this, and while we haven't kept up with 1 activity a week, she does pull it out and kind of just does her own thing sometimes. So I'm for any kind of building. If you take the STEM kit and you build, you're doing awesome. And then sometimes she will follow the actual instructions as well. So I know that this is going to get used for years to come. So we're going to continue it over summer and into the next few years because she really loves it. Social skills activities for ages 8 to 9. We finished this one. Yay! Yeah, we were able to blow through some of this It was really fun. She begged for this. It was very fun. Mostly I did it orally. We just talked through a lot of it. But she enjoyed the activities where she did get to color or mark things, um, make little books or copy and paste and cut and paste and little games, and it was just so fun. This was really cool, and I have to say it was very nice because sometimes as a parent you know all the things that you want to transfer to your child, but you don't necessarily have opportunity to sit down and talk about those things. And we got to sit down and talk about, well, here's the rules, and here's what you should do. And if you're at a friend's house and you were talking to the parents, here's some questions you could ask them, and just things that you don't think about in everyday life. We actually got to sit down and talk about it. So this was a really, really fun and cool resource. For art, we had art history, I guess the Baroque period. We blew through this as well. She just loves to binge watch these videos because they're so fun. Art history, it's so cool. I highly recommend this. It's fantastic. We did not do all of the questions and activities, but we can go back and do that later too. So we did some of them, but not all. Again, I call it a win that she's absorbing the information and she can tell me, hey, we learned about such and such. This, she's getting information, and you don't have to do it all. Please understand, in homeschooling, you don't have to do it all. Just because they give you resources does not mean you have to do everything in them. Paint by number, we have a few more of these to do. She did one of them. We have 3 more that she needs to finish this summer. They're time consuming. They're very detailed and very precise, and so it takes focus and it takes time, but she did enjoy it. It was fun, and I had to help her to figure out the numbers and the particular colors and everything. So they're a lot of work, but they are really cool. The Nature Explorers Drawing Guide for Kids, she has really enjoyed this. She and her friends love animals, love nature. I really like that this isn't necessarily even a consumable book. They would have the instructions here, but they would actually draw it on a different sheet of paper. And while there is the nature journal in the back, this is something you can use for multiple kids and over multiple years as well. So we haven't nearly gone through all of the information about all of the animals yet. But it's a fantastic resource that she has that she can continue as she learns to read herself. She can go in and read about different animals that she's interested in and learn how to draw. So that was it for Timberdoodle. We added one more thing into 3rd grade, the Campfire Curriculum's Financial Stewardship Unit. This has been so fun, guys. So fun. We are about half done. There's 6 lessons. I think we're on lesson 3. It's amazing. It's really fun. It is for all ages, so there's stuff in here that's way more advanced. We're going to do this several times. When she's a little bit older, we'll do it again, because she doesn't understand W-4s and tax forms and stuff, but she will need that in high school. So I mean, they've got everything in here. But we have had some fantastic talks about budgets, about sales tactics, about marketing, about spending wisely and saving. And sometimes you don't know how smart your kid is until you actually have these conversations with them. And it's really fun. So we're having a blast with this. If you are not doing money education with your kids, add it. There's a lot of great resources out there, and we're going to be doing another one with Timberdoodle next year in 4th grade. I'm excited for that one as well. But you've got to do financial education with your kids, and from a young age. It is so crucially important. I can't stress that enough. But this is a fantastic resource. It's very inexpensive. It's great. You print it yourself. It's a PDF. It's super full color. It's just beautiful. There's all kinds of activities for younger kids, older kids. It's really, really great. We are officially wrapping up the school year in 3rd grade, but we are going to continue on a lot of these over the summer, and that's okay. I'm very excited because I just ordered our kids' Timberdoodle kits for next year, and they are arriving this week, so I will have curriculum unboxings coming very soon. I'm very excited. I'll also be sharing some cleanup and organization videos coming soon, so stay tuned for that. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.